Hello, dear viewer, and you have just watched the first version or the first edition of Google AdWords tutorial. And in the second part of Google AdWords tutorial, we are going to discuss about how to create the ad group and how to work with the concept of the ad groups and keywords and ads. So let's begin with the save and continue with from the previous session where we have left our discussion. I can just say save and continue. Now it will prompt me to go to create an ad group. As I told you that we are going to create an ad group for web designing. So I would say, I just want to mention here, say online web designing or just web designing also. That's fine. Okay, and then I need to create an ad. So now one of the easiest way to create an ad is this. If you are a beginner, now one of the biggest challenge you will face is creating a great ad copy will take a bit of time and testing and manipulating the ad text over the period of time. Like as my ads are concerned, when I create an ad for the first time, I just see how the response, what is the CTR rate. Then I just along with that running ad, I also run a little bit of slight variation ad. Then I see how it's performing, what is CTR rate is. So that's by testing. Like as David Ogilvy said, that if you don't stop testing your ads, if you keep testing your ads will keep improving. That's in other words, if you do testing more and more with your ad text, you can actually improve your complete campaign, because testing is one of the very important aspect in making improvements to your campaign. So let's say in a basic level, I want to create a ad. So here I need to give the main headline. That's about which you see in Google AdWords, the main headline which we get on the top in a blue color link. That's the headline, and it is a 25 character limit. Then we have description line 2 and description line 1 and description line 2, which is about give more details about the product. So one point I want to tell you, rather than just telling about your product or service, I would say include a unique selling point or include certain aspect, like what are your product benefits or what are the specific things which are special for your company that you can add. And also write a very good call to action, which is like when a person reads an ad, he should take certain action. He may be like prompted to click on your ad, so that we will see how we can do that option. And then you have to display your URL, that is your company www.w3academy, and final URL is something, the page where the user will actually land when he click on this option. And one more thing I would like to give, a very good idea for beginners. Whenever you are doing it for the first time, one of the easiest way is go and check what your competitors are doing. Now, I would not say that you have to copy their exact act format. Don't do that. Okay. What you do is just search for a particular keyword of your competitor and just see what title they are using, what headline they are using, what description they are using, what description 2 they are using, and how can you make it much better compared to them. That's one of the easiest trick to work with. So let's take text advertisement. So I would say, for text advertisement, I would say straightforward, because my product is designing course. And one more thing I want you to remember, that in India and also in other Asian countries, basically we use the word designing, we don't use the word design. But if you are listening this video and you are from foreign country, then I would say if you are having a similar product or service, so make sure that you use the word design, because mostly in your countries you use it as a word design, but in India mostly we use it as web designing. So let's write the title as web designing course. That's it. I don't want to add any other stuff, right? So web designing course is my target keyword. Or if you want to make it more attractive, maybe I say top web designing course, which will actually indicate to the user that okay, let's check. But I would say that's a stop word, so I would say go with an exact keyword, web designing course. Now description, what I'm offering in our web designing course. I'll say first thing about my product and what duration it is actually. So learn professional web designing in 60 hours, which actually is straightforward, very easy for user to understand. Okay, 60 hours I need to spend. So that's one of the point, because in some of our competitors take a lot more time to teach this course. So I'd say 60 hours is what we are going to teach. And then I would say with responsive, that's responsive mobile friendly websites you can able to design after learning this particular course. So I would say RWD, responsive web design, comma HTML5, comma I can add AngularJS, etc. So that's with I can just write W slash, which is meant with RWD, responsive web designing, HTML5 and Angular JS. And now very important point, when you end your description to, one of the major guideline you will have is end your description with a call to action. For example, I say join now. That's a good call to action. Or buy now, if it is an e-commerce website, buy now. So you can say that depending on your product, you have to get a good call to action. Now one thing I want to tell you, a very simple very common practice used by almost every advertiser, end your call to action with an exclamation mark. That's one of the thing you will observe in lot of websites. We use an exclamation mark when you are ending the description too. That's the way we use this ads. And one trick I will tell you, so if you just go ahead and enter your display URL, that is w3academy.com, and one more important thing I want to tell you is add the word web underscore designing. Now you may say, so why you are adding this such a lengthy keyword? This is actually for the purpose of the relevancy factor. That's actually this keyword, if it is matching with our ad, if the ad is matching with our keyword, we are going to see that we are going to get a good quality relevancy, and which will help us in getting the quality score. So I would be doing that particular option. And also once we start running this campaign, we would like to see what's the quality score of the ad and other factors, so that I can further explain you in the tutorial number 3 about of the after we run this campaign, what are the results we are seeing. So now let's take our final URL. So I can just go to w3academy.com. It's a basic WordPress website. Okay, I can go to courses. Wait a minute. Yeah, here it is. Just copy this URL and put it into your final URL. That's our destination URL. That's it. Now I would like to tell you one interesting trick here. Okay, you see generally the ad would be web designing course is your title, right? But sometimes you see that you will also get a lengthy title. That's actually one of the way to increase the CTR. So how do we get that extra title? So we can do a simple logic. End your description line 1 with a dot, and what you see there is immediately you would be getting the DS1 attached with your headline, and you see the ad now reads web designing course, learn web designing in 60 hours, and then you have the RWD, HTML5, AngularJS, and hyphen join now. That's the trick here. So end it with dot symbol. I hope everyone understood this simple strategy. And if your website is mobile friendly, no need to give the URL for mobile. But imagine if you are having a separate URL for mobile and a separate URL for desktop, then you need to give a mobile URL option. And this option of this is for tracking purpose, not required. So now a very important aspect to study here. Now when we add a keyword, so I just want to give you a easy understanding and explanation of this concept. Keywords are basically divided into 5 types. One is called as broad match. Now what do you mean by broad match is if you add web designing course, now it means any of this word found in the user query, the ad will show. Imagine if the customer search interior designing course, your ad will show. Why? Broad match is so broad, It's actually going to be any word your ad will show. So what's the solution for the problem? So generally I would suggest for small business owners, don't use broad match and don't use single word keyword, don't use generic words. Okay, so I would say the next one is a phrase match which comes with a double quote. And what is phrase match is, if I add web designing course in double quotes, it means my ad will only show if it consists of the exact phrase in the user query. Imagine if the customer search web designing course online, my ad will show. If the customer search online web designing course, my ad will show. If the customer search web designing courses in Hyderabad, my ad will show. So that way, when I target double quotes, that's called as phrase match. It means before and after, anything can be there in the query of the user, but the same phrase must be available. Then we also have another match type, which is called as exact match, which means only for this keyword and some relevant close variants and misspellings of this keyword our ad will show, which means we are restricting ourselves to a very particular keyword that I just want to rank for one keyword, that is web designing course. So I would just say, personally, we have broad match is not a good idea, phrase match is a good idea, and exact match in some cases we can use it. And one very interesting match type, which is broad match modifier, which is amazing for most of the clients and most of the business, and it deals like this. Just add the plus symbol with every single keyword. And what does it mean is, your ad will show for any keyword which matches with any combination of these three words, and also any other word can be available. Example, if someone search course for web designing, our ad will show. Why? Because when I say course for web designing, it's the whole reverse face. But still, because the three words are there, web is there, course is there, designing is there, our ad will show. But in phrase match, it will not show. So I would say one thing, if you just add this one match also, it's going to be more than enough, and your ad can be shown for every single keyword which is related to web designing. And I don't need to add a separate design word, because design and designing, they are actually close variants. So Google will automatically show your ad for design as well as for designing. So I would say, if you are really doing it for the first time, so rather than going with broad match, I would say BMM is one option. And also if you want to be very specific with the keywords, so I can say web designing course in Hyderabad, which is in phrase match, and I want to be targeting online web designing course, again, which is in phrase match. Like this, I can target certain, and see here we are getting a good number of searches, a good number of keywords which we can add over here on the left side with our phrase matches. And also, and the last type of match is called as negative match. So what is negative match is, if a particular person search for a particular keyword, I don't want to show that ad, and that I can define with minus. And I would say one of the negative keyword for me is minus free. Why? Because if someone search free web designing course, he is not my target audience, because I'm not offering it for free. And also negative, see, generally we can think about certain words, or we can see some of this list of data, and we will automatically get an idea that all of this stuff I can actually put as negative terms. And also, maybe if someone say minus, say material, I don't want to give material. Minus books, I don't want to offer books. Minus software. Like generally we cannot define the negative terms, because I did a work on this section in this particular product ad group, so I know that this will be the common words, and there are many more there. Once you run the campaign, then you can able to see what are the words which are going to be good or which are not going to be good for your product. So these are the keywords I have added. So let's review this point. So we can actually add a text tag which should have the relevant keywords, it should have the relevant text and relevant description, and then we must have a display URL which should be with our target keyword, if possible, if it is having the 35 character limit, and then the final URL, and then some relevant keywords which will give you a great opportunity to show your ads to the specific user. And remember, we are in auto bidding, so no need to worry about pricing. Google will decide automatically the pricing for this particular keyword. So let's go ahead and say save ad group, and that's it. Here we have created our ad and our keywords as well. Perfect. Now see, on the left hand side we have got a campaign W3 Academy, we have got an ad group, and the ad group is web designing. Now the thing we have to do is, which is an extra thing, we have to add some ad extensions. Now what is ad extensions is, we can able to add a specific type of information, a specific type of additional data along with our ad. So I would like to add not this other options, but I would like to add here a call extension. That is, whenever a customer sees our ad, I want to show a phone number along with my ad. So here is, I would like to add for India. Don't worry about the forwarding number, it's actually another discussion. Okay, 967652544, save it, and then I can click save. So that's one extension added for this campaign. And if you see site links, this is also very interesting. You can give certain relevant products. Like if you are seeing an ad of web designing, I can show you digital marketing course ad. I can show you web designing course ad. I can show you quite relevant ad links to you below my ad. That's a good idea as well. So copy this link. I can even add the description, but it's not required actually. Just say save and just go ahead and save. So now I have got one site link and I've got one call extension, right? And also one more interesting one is call out extension, where I can display some more relevant information about my business. Okay, so I can just go ahead and say add new call out extension, which will appear below the ad text. "100% practical training." One more call to extension, live project. One more call to extension, 5+ years experience trainer, and you can add more as well, but I will say save. That's it, and now we are ready to go, and you can just go to the ads. Right now we have only one ad, but it would be eligible, and please remember, eligible means it's actually under review. It's not been approved, and you can see the message there. Ad is not showing now because basically it's an under review process. So once it's approved, you see the message here, approved. It may take sometimes 10 minutes for me, sometimes it takes few hours of time, sometimes it takes a whole day. If it's a new account, new campaign, everything new, it can take the whole day as well. So this is just an easy way to run your ads and go ahead and create your ad campaign. So I would say, I would just review what we have discussed: how to create a campaign, what settings you have to select, then how to create an ad group, and what are the keywords you can add, how to create a basic ad, and how to add some extensions. So this is our Google AdWords tutorial 2, and in this we have discussed and we are running our campaign, and I can say that within few minutes of time our campaign would be up and running. It will be live, up and running as well for our target keywords. That's all for this particular session, and in our next session we will see how the ad is being displayed, and you can see some data, but we have to wait for few days of time to get that information, to get the data, and then I would like to show you how to read the data, how to know like which keywords are working for you, what's the price, what's the position for it, what's quality score. Now we are going to discuss that in our next tutorial about that particular fundamental factors. Thank you very much for watching the video too. Please like, share and subscribe our videos, and please share it on your Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn accounts so that our videos can go to go and will reach to the people who really require this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching.